how much of what has happened to the U.S. economy in particular in the last decade can be attributed to technology in general and specifically to AI and robotics? Changes that we've seen. What role has technology played in transforming our economy so far?
Well, I think that it's very hard to kind of tease it out because there are a lot of things going on, and I think it's a trend that probably goes back more than just over the last decade. It actually goes back all the way to the 1970s, which is the point where productivity and wages kind of decouple, and you see that wages have been relatively flat for most people. Well, productivity and innovation has continued to climb pretty relentlessly. So I think that it's had a very major impact. One thing that's happened in the last decade is that you've seen the share of income going to labor as opposed to capital has been kind of collapsing, and the labor force participation rate, the number of people that are actually employed in the economy, has been collapsing at a very rapid rate. And again, there are a lot of things going on. There's demographics, there's political change, there's the recession in there and so forth. But I think there's absolutely no doubt that it's having a major impact, and I think that it's very likely to have kind of an accelerating impact going forward.
Sure.
Well, I can dive into some discussion on that point. What Mark said is absolutely true. Everything he says is absolutely true, but his conclusions are completely wrong. You haven't been on a panel with me yet. John has. It's like I'm the Don Rickles of robotic book authors. My point is that it's true that it decoupled in the 70s. That's true. But it actually had coupled about 20 years before that. And if you think about it, there's really no fundamental reason that increased productivity should increase wages. They call it a labor market for a reason. It's about supply of labor and demand for labor. So the fact that people are more productive, if that's due to investment on the part of people of capital, I don't see any reason logically that should flow back to the workers. This is all a question of how much work there is and how many people are available. The big problem we're going to see going forward, I think I'm probably quoting from your book, is that we're going to get more structural unemployment, which basically means there are plenty of jobs and there are plenty of people, but the people don't have the right skills for the jobs because the skills keep changing. And that's a fundamental problem because it obsoletes the workforce. And those people become long-term unemployed.